Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I welcome you all. Today we are going to discuss the chapter Resources. This is the chapter taken from the 8th class Geography, designed by CBSE. So, dear students, let us start with the question, what is a resource? Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is a resource. For example, water, soil, forests, minerals, buildings, roads, etc. Now, second question is, what makes an object or substance a resource? Obviously, it is utility or usability, which means that when we use an object or substance, it becomes a resource. Third question, how does something become a resource? It is use or utility gives it a value. All resources have some value, though some resources do not have economic value, but they are equally important to us. For example, we use or we utilize or we consume air, water, which are totally free from the nature, and we are not supposed to pay anything to them, or we are not supposed to pay anything to the nature. In this way, we receive these things free. But on the other hand, when we go to the market to purchase certain things, we have to pay cash. And it means that these substance or objects which we purchase from the market have economic value. So, value means worth. How these objects or substances are important to us, how they are important for all living beings. So, this is the value which makes something an important. Some resources are not used in present day. We may not use them in to fulfill our needs today, but in future it is possible that they would be used. At that time, it is possible that the technology would be advanced. So it means that time and technology are two important factors that can change substance into a resource. Now, second topic, classification of resources or types of resources. Generally, there are two types of resources. One is called natural resource, and second is called man-made resource, or sometimes called as human-made resources. What are natural resources? Those resources which are provided by the nature or which are drawn from the nature, such as air, water, petroleum, soil, forests, minerals, etc. These are taken from the nature and they are called natural resources. On the other hand, some resources are made by the human beings by using or by utilizing or by modifying the natural resources. For example, machines, vehicles, roads, railways, these are made by the human beings by using material which is naturally available to them. These are called man made or human made resources. Now, here is another classification of resources, that is human resources and non human resources. What human beings have? Firstly, I must tell you that the human beings are natural resources because they have been created by the nature. What human beings have? As you know, without knowledge, it is not possible to utilize any resource. Every resource is being used on a time, and for every utilization, we need energy, abilities, skill, and attitude. These are called as the resources which are available in human beings. So, these are called human resources. There are certain things which are called non-human resources, such as money, though used by the man, material goods used by the man, similarly community facilities used by the man. These are not human, but they are used by the human beings. So with this, we have finished classification of resources. Now, types of resources in detail. Let us try to understand all these resources. Natural resources, as already discussed with you, are those resources that are drawn from the nature and are used without much modification. For example, air we breathe, the water in our rivers and lakes, the soil, minerals are all natural resources. Many of these resources are free gifts of nature and can be used directly. For example, sunlight we use directly. Similarly, wind energy is being used directly. Air we use directly. These are called free gifts of nature because they are available to us without any cost, without any price, without paying anything to the nature. So these are called free gifts of nature, totally free. Generally, there are two types of natural resources. One category is called renewable resources, and second one is called non-renewable resources. What are renewable resources? Renewable resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly. Some of these are unlimited and are not affected by the human activities, such as solar and wind energy, which are unlimited, which can be used for so many things. For example, for lighting purposes, we use solar energy. Wind energy is being used in grinding mills, or we can say windmills. So these are free and these are called renewable. They get renewed within a short period of time. Non renewable resources are those which have unlimited stock. For example, here's a coal, petroleum, and natural gas. You can see these are limited in stock. Once exhausted, they will get enough time to get renewed once again. In other words, we can say that these resources take almost thousands of years to get renewed. As you know, the human life is hardly 60 to 100 years, so it is not possible to us to see them again. So, dear kids, it means these resources are non renewable. Now, what is distribution of resources? As you know that resources are not equally available or evenly available on the surface of earth or inside the earth because of certain factors. One factor is called a terrain. It means what kind of land is available to us, whether it is mountainous, whether it is plain, is it desert, forest area, marshy land, etc. So it depends upon the type of a land which we have. Second, climate. What kind of climate is having uh, so that we can use resource. Climate may be cold, may be hot as well as moderate. Third is altitude. So it means height from the sea level up to the above. So these are the factors due to which the natural resources are not equally available on all parts of the earth. Second category, that's called human made resources, as already discussed with you, that those resources which are made by the human beings are called man made resources. For example, buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, vehicles, etc. These are being made by the human beings by using raw material available in the nature. Technology is also a human made resource. So today we have finished the classification of resources. Inshallah, we will meet again in the next video. Till then, Khuda Hafiz.